Well, there you have it. China lands on the far side of the moon. Look at them working hard. This is all I could find. That is real. Really on the moon. And that is as close to real footage of this event that I could find. But that clearly looks like CGI. So why are they all looking at CGI and clapping? Well, you know, if they were really controlling the landing of this thing on the moon, you'd think that whatever equipment they have that is able to take photos of their equipment on the moon could capture footage of it landing. And you'd think that as it was landing, they would look at the actual live footage of the actual lander, not some CGI animated version on the fucking screen as it's landing on the far side of the moon. Is that Pink Floyd's new album, The Far Side of the Moon? Okay, I'm very confused. Why do they always have CGI animations? If we're really doing all these amazing things in space, on the moon, on Mars, why is there always some CGI animation making me feel like I'm watching a fucking science fiction movie? They can't just show me the real fucking thing. I'm pissed. Because even if they were to show me the real footage, how do I even fucking know that's real? I mean, do you know what a deep fake is? Artificial intelligence can now make a video of any person using facial recognition software and mimic their facial movements and fake them saying whatever you want them to say in a program, now available to the public. So you can't even believe a video of someone speaking. How are you going to believe a video of something landing on the moon? How are you going to believe a video of something landing on Mars? It's just not logical. Speaking of fake or real, let's look at this model of the Chinese lander. It sure does look realistic, but we know it's fake. A model of the moonlander for China's Chang'e 4 lunar probe is displayed at the China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition. Picture taken November 6, 2018. Well, that's a nice little model they have. It looks a lot like a movie set. Really interesting. Because that's exactly how you make a science fiction movie about space. You make a model of it, put a camera to it, and you have a science fiction film, which to me is what's going on with every single space agency in the world is nothing more than a science fiction film. Because every time there's a landing a probe landing, a moon landing, a Mars rover landing. All we have are really bad images or CGI animations. So I just did an image search of that looks like an early NASA photo of the far side of the moon. But this is what they're giving us. This, on the top right, is the image that they got. This is what they landed. This is the rocket taking off. This is the little rover that popped out of the lander. But this is the far side of the moon, and yes, there's still light there. The sunlight reaches it. Technically, it's not the dark side, but I am a little confused. They say this dark part, there's still light on it, but when I'm looking at the moon, it looks like it's the night time. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm just going to have to show you how that works in a minute here. But first, one more image I want to take a look at. This looks like the most realistic photo we've seen so far from the Chinese far side of the moon landing. But then again, as I've been saying all along, pictures and video are not evidence anymore because you cannot verify them. Deep fake is proof that we cannot verify whether or not a picture or a video is real anymore. So believe what you want, but you could very well be believing in a fake video or a fake image. Okay, I just wanted to shed some light on the moon's dark side. By Larry Sessions in Tonight, February 12th, 2019, apparently we've entered the twilight zone and skipped ahead a month and a half. Tonight, February 12th, 2019, the moon is at or near its first quarter phase, which means the portion of the moon we see from Earth is 50% illuminated by sunshine and 50% engulfed in the moon's own shadow. FYI, the Chinese landing happened near new moon, so the portion of the moon that we see in the video where I am talking about the Chinese far side of the moon landing, we are only seeing a tiny sliver of the moon in the night sky. So disregard this. Larry doesn't know what year it is. Half the moon is always illuminated in space. In other words, the moon has a day side and a night side, just as Earth does. Due to the angle between the sun, Earth, and moon, we're seeing about equal portions of its day side and night side tonight. Because the moon is now waxing, we're bound to see more of its day side each evening until the night that the moon turns full on the night of November 3rd through 4th, 2017. Whoa, Larry, you just went back 2 more years. The part of the moon that isn't in sunlight is often called the moon's dark side. Just realize that, because of the moon's motion around Earth, the portion of the dark side that we see from Earth constantly changes. There is a permanent far side of the moon, but there is no permanent dark side of the moon, because any given lunar location experiences night for about 2 weeks, followed by about 2 weeks of daylight. The moon does rotate on its axis, but billions of years of Earth's strong gravitational pull have slowed it down such that today the moon takes as long to rotate as it does to orbit once around Earth. Astronomers would say that the moon is tidally locked with Earth. For that reason, one side of the moon always faces Earth, but it is not always dark, as you can see just by looking at the sky tonight. Incidentally, the moon's gravitational effects on Earth are much smaller, but given billions of years of time, the Earth will slow down and keep one face always toward the moon. Bottom line, a far side of the moon remains hidden from Earth, but doesn't stay permanently dark. Alright, not sure how I feel about all of that I just mentioned, but now you get a better idea of how the moon, dark side, light side work. And I'm going to show you a nice little video from NASA of the dark side of the moon.
Now, China lands on the far side of the moon here. We've got India about to launch its second moon mission. Why are these developing powers investing so heavily in their space capabilities?
Oh, I'll tell you why. Because people are finally waking up to the fact that we've been lied to for the last 500 years. Oh yeah, the Earth is not a ball flying through space. Hate to break it to you, but there is no curvature. And all we have are pictures and CGI animation. We don't have anything that is real that we can verify because we got deep fake space. And if you want to believe a picture or a video because someone told you it's real, because a space agency told you it was real, well, I'm sorry, then you must believe all pictures and video of Bigfoot. Based on that logic, you must believe all pictures and video of UFOs. You must believe all pictures of the Loch Ness Monster. You must believe all pictures and videos of mermaids. Do you see what I'm getting at? So if you want to go believing these space agencies that we're going to the moon and Mars, then you must be completely out of your mind. I mean, seriously, that's not logical to believe someone, but then not believe someone else. Because basically, you're just believing what you were told. The government is telling you that Bigfoot is a hoax, it's all a conspiracy, it's all fake. But, oh, you must believe NASA, right? You see what I mean? That's a problem. That's a problem I have. I'm not going to just believe NASA, okay? I'm not going to believe it because they showed me on the TV screen back in the 60s a video, poor quality, that we're on the moon. Just because it's on a freaking TV screen and they said it's real doesn't mean it is.
You know, that's a question I actually ask a lot because here in the States we say, yeah, we did that 50 years ago. And why are these other countries doing it now? And I guess, what are they learning that we have forgotten? I mean, it was a matter of national pride for us back in the 60s. And now this sort of seems to be the gold standard for being an advanced technological nation. China's done it. Japan has sent probes to the orbit of the moon. Israel's about to land a commercial lander on the moon. So as they said in the 60s, you know, everyone's going back to the moon. Apparently that song's going to be a hit again.
Okay. Keith, thank you so much. That was Keith Cowing there, an editor of the blog NASA Watch. Well, America's space agency has also achieved a space exploration milestone, this one billions of kilometers from the sun. NASA's New Horizons probe sent the first detailed images of the space rock Ultima Thule. The pictures show what looks like a giant snowman. NASA has described it as an entirely new kind of world. The frozen rock at the edge of our solar system is the most distant object ever explored by humankind.
Here's where we were just a couple days ago on December 31st, 2018, this was humanity's best image of Ultima Thule, made by New Horizons at a range of about 500,000 kilometers out. Well, that image is so 2018. Meet Ultima Thule.
First of all, I want to say how many occult numbers and symbols I am reading in this is just incredible. Second, I want to know how that object on the left can fit into that object on the right. It looks a little bit too long and too thin. It definitely doesn't even seem like an out of focus image on the left could somehow turn into that image on the right. It's more plump, it's more wide. That object on the left, quite frankly, looks like a very blurred out dildo. It is a phallic symbol, clearly. Look at the occult number they used, 33 kilometers, 33. 21 is 2 and 1 is 3. It is the MU69. 69 is also an occult number. A phallus is an occult symbol of power. This is also like two balls, basically. It's almost like a phallus giving birth to a turd. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And MU69, mu, is how you spell the symbol for the mu opiate receptor. It's a type of opiate receptor that we have. So it's just unbelievable. And then, of course, the Nazis were tied to the occult. The real Nazis, Ultima Thule, is where the Nazis thought the Aryan race came from. So this whole thing they're telling us is just a bunch of hidden occult meanings and symbols. That's all it is. That's how NASA originated, and that is all they continue to do today. And they did such a sloppy job with this image. I mean, you can still see the blur on the right from the first image. So basically what they're doing is laughing in our faces, saying, "Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, here's a snowman dick and balls, kids," with the number 33 and 69, because just like NASA and their 69th mission taking off on the 33rd runway. That's right. It happened before. Not the first time NASA used 69 and 33. So if you want to just think this is all a bunch of strange coincidences, go ahead. But it's not. Clearly, it's not a coincidence at all.
Just like with Pluto, we could not be happier. What you're seeing is the first contact binary ever explored by spacecraft.
Oh yeah, just like Pluto. See how they're screwing with us? Oh my god, that looks like a turd.
But let me say, that bowling pin is gone. It's a snowman, if it's anything at all.
Because it's Christmas time.
You know, we have to start thinking about some provisional names, and particularly we need names right up front for the two lobes so that we can refer to them individually. Now, being scientists, we're not all that creative with words, so what we've decided to do is name one lobe Ultima and the other Thule.
Now that we have new data down, just in the last day, we now know that Ultima rotates with a period of 15 hours, give or take 1 hour. And now that we have this information, that's helped us to understand the mystery and further reveal what's going on with the light curve on Ultima. This animation
What a crock of
shows
shit.
the rotation of Ultima, the bilobed
You really
object there,
believe this
compared
shit?
to an ellipse. So when you have two spheres rotating, you're still seeing the same surface area, so there's less variation. And then compared to an ellipsoid, as it would vary, you're seeing a different projected area.
A rotating turd. Oh my god, look at it, looks like shit. It looks like
I'm excited today
someone
to
took a
introduce
dump.
you to the color of Ultima Thule. So on the left-hand side, you're seeing an
Is it
enhanced color image.
turd-colored?
So this is the near IR, the red and the blue, taken by the Ralph
let me
instrument,
guess.
the MVIC, part of the Ralph instrument.
Oh,
In the
look,
middle,
it's
you're
shit
seeing the Lorry
brown.
image that we've already discussed. And on the right-hand side is the color image overlaid onto that Lorry. We had a rough color from Hobble, but now we can definitively say that Ultima Thule is red.
Oh, did they?
And I want to bring to everybody's attention that this coming together, the lobes would be at an extremely slow speed. It would be like about maybe 1 or a few miles an hour, the speed in which you might park your car at a parking space, or if you had a collision of another car at those speeds, you may not even bother to fill out the insurance forms.
Or the speed in which you might take a dump? I don't know. So, first of all, they clearly decided to make this thing a snowman because it's Christmas time, and they're fucking with us. That's what they're doing. It always has to look like something. I mean, okay, a potato, a robot. Someone said it looks like this Italian type of cheese. And then Pluto. You know, this thing is out there past Pluto, and look at the connection. Pluto also looks like a cartoon. Frosty the Snowman, Pluto the dog. They're fucking with us. Clearly fucking with us. Okay? This is all a show. A Hollywood movie production, science fiction, fantasy. That's all it is. And of course, it always has to look like something. You know why? Because if you ever call them out on their lies, they'll just say you're crazy because you said it looks like Pluto or Frosty the Snowman, so obviously it's an effort to discredit people from calling them out on the truth, which is that this is all a crock of shit. And if you want to believe photos of cartoons, be my guest. But I would never take NASA's word for it just because there's a space agency who started out as a bunch of occultists dropping acid in a lab in Los Angeles. Okay? That's who you want to trust? Let's take a look at what Ultima Thule actually means. It's a distant, unknown region, the extreme limit of travel and discovery. The name dates back to the Roman Empire, when it was used to describe some far icy land, and even appeared on maps. And as I mentioned before, there was a Nazi connection to the name. NASA could have easily gone with any other moniker, but they chose this one on purpose because of its occult meaning. Feel free to pause the video and read the rest of the description. And just to prove what a production this always is, Brian May, the lead guitarist of Queen, recently came out with a single called New Horizons. And surprisingly, not only does he serve as a member of the team behind NASA's New Horizons space probe, he helped photograph the most distant space object ever captured on film, Ultima Thule. Thank you for the song, Brian, and thank you for the snowman. Happy New Year.
New
everything I just said, who are you going to believe? A bunch of crazy, phallus-worshipping occultists? Or yourself? Are you going to trust people like Neil deGrasse and Brian May because they are astrophysicists in the mainstream? Or are you going to trust yourself, your own eyes? Are these people actors getting paid to lie? We are scientists. We can do our own experiments and our own research. We don't need the scientists to tell us what is fake or real, when we are perfectly capable of determining that for ourselves. Always trust your own eyes and don't believe what people tell you. You have to see it for yourself.